Welcome to Big Red Leads. I'm Big Red, getting you and your business back to the black. Today, I want to talk to everybody about what it means to be honest, and what it costs to be honest, and what it is to be keeping it real. A lot of people use that term, use that phrase, and they're only doing it when it's convenient for them. You have a lot of people who use that and say that and express that and think that you have to be loud and boisterous and all. You don't have to be braggadocious about it. If you're keeping it real and you're keeping it honest, you're doing it because you're standing up for something or someone in a situation that is required, which some conflict is coming that way, coming your direction, and it needs to be resolved. At least needs to be taken on. It needs, head on, because we have a tendency in today's society to say we're keeping it real, but a lot of people, if you simply go on social media for 5 seconds, you will see people are not keeping it real. Taking pictures in front of cars that are theirs, fronting and flossing and act like they got it, when in fact they don't. They're 2 months behind on their rent. Their car just got repoed. And you think it's okay to front and floss like you actually are really about that life when you're not. And it's usually the people who are talking, especially men, young men. Let me say this. If you are keeping it real, and somebody says something that slights you, you don't have to resort to fisticuffs and fighting. Just address the disrespect. Address the slight. Address that little sideways comment. Because most people don't want to deal with conflict. That's why, when you actually check somebody and you tell somebody, hey, this is not going down like this today, they have a tendency to stop. Let's keep it all the way real right now. If a friend of yours comes and tells you about what somebody else said, the question shouldn't be what they said. The question should be, what did you do about it? Let me say that again. If someone's talking about you in the presence of your friend, instead of that friend bringing you the nonsense, bringing you the negative energy, bringing you this array of bullshit, what did you do about it? Did you say anything? Did you tell them, hey, we don't need that? Did you stop them from going on this little tirade? Because a real friend would stop that person. I'm just saying. Not only check that person, but you're checking the pedigree. Because if people are talking about you behind your back and your friends are present and they don't say anything, that's one thing. But if they chime in and agree or co-sign some nonsense, that's another issue. This is where this whole term of keeping it real goes wrong. No, keeping it real, like I said, it's lonely and expensive. I have lost deals because I was keeping it real. I have let go of friendships that I've had for years because I was keeping it real. When I was a young man, I've told the story before. When I was a young man, a friend of mine told me that I needed to stop hanging out with the other group, with the rest of the group at that particular time that we were all hanging around, partying every day, not being responsible, not taking on, being accountable for the things and the actions that we indulged in. He literally pulled me aside and said, hey, Red, you can't be involved in this. You don't need to be here. You don't belong here. And you know that little conversation from a true friend, him keeping it real with me in that moment, changed the trajectory of my life, changed the way I was looking at things, opened my eyes up to a totally different perspective of somebody simply saying, you are too talented, you're too skilled, you're too smart. Why are you here? And within less than a few days, I jumped on a path of getting, quote unquote, getting my shit together. And I'm so appreciative of that because somebody kept it real with me when everybody was just being fraudulent and fake and just wanted to hang out. Why? Because I was popular. Think about your friends. Think about your relationships that you have. Do they hold you accountable? Do you have a mentor or somebody in your life who occasionally have to pull your coattails? Say, hey, don't do that. Don't do that. That's somebody keeping it real with you. It's a, it's one of those things. Keeping it real is convenient for those who are going to benefit from it. And even then, it's not really keeping it real. It's keeping it convenient. I'm going to speak up at this moment because there might be a raise in it for me. There might be some money in it for me. Mm. There are ways to combat this. Take it head on. Whenever this comes up and somebody is trying to be almost talking down to you, the way to combat it is to confront the issue. Confront the slight. Confront this. Right in that moment. Like, share, definitely subscribe to the channel. If you understand what we're talking about today, every person who has lived an inkling of life has dealt with this. And if you're doubting yourself, you allow people to fake in front of you. You allow people to sugarcoat things that you needed raw. I'd rather have a raw and unfiltered conversation with a stranger than somebody who I know that is going to, I'm going to say lie, but they're not telling the whole truth. They're admitting things. They're leaving things out. That's a lie. An omission is a lie. Like when you leave things out of something, especially if it's something of importance, when you leave things out of a conversation with a true friend, you are not keeping it real. If something is bothering you and it's affecting your friendship, it's affecting your friendship with your other group of friends, if it's affecting your relationship, whether it be your girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, if it's affecting other things outside of you and you don't speak up on it, you are not keeping it real. At what point do we stop this? All the answers are within you. Someone stepping to you and simply just, whatever the relationship is, everyone is a mirror. They are showing you things that you are not seeing yourself. Whether it be flaws or chinks in your armor. Here on this channel, we are about personal improvement, bettering yourself, looking within, finding the answers to the questions that bother you. So a lot of this, when it really boils down to, is dealing with conflict. The conflict of self-doubt, the conflict of not encouraging yourself, not encouraging others, not willing to look within, not willing to have an honest conversation with the person in the mirror. That's keeping it real. You know where your strong suits are, and you know where your weak points are. You know where your pressure points are, where your buttons are, and you know when somebody's talking to you, and if they know how to press your buttons, they can take you to a place where you do not want to be. You're not in one-on-one, you're not embracing the dark side of you. Everyone has one. But at the same time, you're scared of what might happen based on the fact that you haven't dealt with your own issues. Your own inner work needs to be taken care of. I'm not perfect by any means. But at the same time, I don't take nonsense from anybody or disrespect. I address it right then and there. And no matter what it's cost me. And it's cost me a lot. And I'm not even talking money. Deal with these things before they deal with you. It's the same as what you do with your life. If you do not detail and write out or plan out your life or put things together for your life, someone else will. You want personal freedom? That comes from within. You want money and means and the ability to move fluently throughout this life? These are things that you have to do for yourself. How can you teach someone things that you have not done? That's if you're trying to be a teacher or a life coach or a business coach or you're in sales. That's a big part of sales that a lot of people miss. When you are in sales, I'm talking B2B, B2B especially. You are dealing with people. If you are not able to basically reflect this mirror, show someone the pain of not closing on this deal, this is what it's going to cost you if you do not take action today. And let them sit with it. And if it makes sense and the deal's there, you've kept it real, you're being honest, you're thorough, you're touching on what we do, what this product does, what this service does, and then you carry that out through. It's the same in life. Will that be Visa or MasterCard? Love you all. I hope this message helps today. Don't keep it convenient. Keep it real. All the way real. Love you all. Talk soon. This is Big Red Leads. Have a great, great day.